Hey, I'm here with my lovely, lovely Amy.
Oh, hello, lovely Karen.
Hey, I was just looking up empires. So we already know that America, they're still in an empire. That's what it said. I mean, there's the English Empire, there's the French Empire, there's the German Empire, there's loads more. But I was just looking at the German one because somebody told me that they had this big part in Australia, which is sort of been wiped out of history since the Second World War. But anyway, we're just looking at a few pictures because obviously that's more what they have there now. It's up to 1945, and it says, you can read it, I'll just put it through slowly. It's about 1871, the Deutsche Reich was declared. It goes on, and then it comes down to here. You want to get to this bit. Germany rising, and so was its young men. Righty, because this is the story of it. And then here it says they were disgruntled with the way in which their German empire was going. One thing they may have objected was the compulsory military service brought in under the militaristic and Prussian mindset of the time after the unification. They always use words like that, don't they? Unification. Yeah. Many young men left Germany or Austria before it ever came to war. A segment of those departing came to Australia. These were young men leaving Deutschland anti-war in three senses. They were set against the militarization and the martial chauvinism of their time, but what's any different today? They left the war before the war, realizing early on what that was likely to come. What a waste of time everybody did all this for them. We've already done it all before. Many did
That's
not.
right.
Sorry, Amy, carry on.
Sorry, I had to say, that's right.
Many did not want to participate as scripts under their materialistic regime and chose to flee, refugees from what they saw as the oppression on an altitudinal pressure peerage, or what was often seen as a Prussianized compulsory military service. Young men tricked out through the ports of Germany and Belgium. Trickled out. And it goes, with these men that came to Australia through my study is really only concentrated in Melbourne and regions of Australia. The two wars were the enemy saw them permanently estranged from both their people and their heritage. After the unification of Germany under Prussia in 1870-1871, when universal conscription was brought in across the states of Deutschland, the pattern of immigration from Germany to Australia changed. Instead of the earlier pattern of the majority of settlers arriving in families, young single men started to arrive, young men who were at odds with the increasing militarization of their fatherland, and also often at odds with the rampant chauvinism of German social life. Well, that doesn't sound like they went there to take over. It just sounds like they fled there. But can't do that now, can we? Oops.
That's right.
And it goes on and on and on. But that just sounds like they... I've got to go back up. So there's masses of information in this one. Right, so I've got to go back up a bit more. Right there. Right, we've got down to... Let's put it this way, guys. There's so much information that just moving it a tiny bit. So we've done that. I was quite surprised that so many have gone to Australia to make a point of it, that they've written about it.
I know.
It's not going on about Australia. I can't see Australia. Doesn't talk about that, just talks about them going over to Australia. So they took over in that sense, maybe, because there were so many of them. Oh, it says here, on this bit here, many of the young men were avoiding military service, blah, 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 blah. And it says, and often then prosecuted as enemy, oh my goodness, get it right, Karen, and often then prosecuted as enemy aliens in Australia.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't say they took over though, does it? It says
Oh,
the World Sea in Australia. Well, okay. But it still doesn't say they took over Australia. But anyway, history's a lie, isn't it?
that's right, it
How would
is.
you feel, Amy, if you found out Australia had been run by the Germans?
I would be very shocked to hear that. I never have heard anything like that before. I thought it was under, England. That would really do my head in.
Well, she is half German, isn't she? The Queen.
That's right, that's true.
Let's see if we can find anything else. We're just going to see if we can find anything else.
Oh.
So, there's a little bit more information I found, basically. That's what it says. And obviously, a bit more information if you want to read it. But it's talking about other things, but talking about this migration of Germans in pre-First World War. South Australia has primarily been viewed as the Buenos Luthians, a pious, hard-working group of rural immigrants who, seeking refuge from religious persecution, continued to South America's development. There is truth in stereotype of about 10,000 Germans who migrated to South America between 1838 and 1914, and the vast majority settled in the Boza Valley and rural districts of the Adelaide Hills. Many continue to participate in life cycle rituals offered by church sacraments such as baptisms, marriages, German language schools, all maintained their importance for the rural communities. However, when the first wave of immigrants arrived in South Australia in the 1800s and 1940s, Germany did not exist. These Germans were Austrians, Brandenburgers, Pomeranians, and Silesians. Oh, sorry, everybody can read those words. Separated by confession, regional dialects, laws and traditions. Likewise, while Muslims in Australia may be bound together by a common religion, also taking into account dominations like Sunni and Shais, the community constitutes a large number of nationalities. It spans numerous languages and cultures, with about 38% of the country being born in Australia. And from the late 1940s, the socio-economic and occupational profile of German immigrants became increasingly urban migrants. Migrants' lives also grew distant from the the auspices of the Lothian Church under pastors Augusto Cavell and Gothard Fitz. Sorry about my spelling and that, guys, or my pronunciation. Amy will have to help me, won't you, Amy?
Oh, I'll try to, Karen.
I'll just finish this off because you can't see this, but in 1854, a group of middle-class Germans established the Deutsche Club, German club, from their grand room on Pier St. The club members represented a mixed identity, embracing their home in South Australia and the immigrant discourse surrounding German nationalisation. So basically, I'm not going to read anymore, but basically there's loads more there, look. Many Germans, or the countries which were in the German Empire, fled to Australia. So maybe that would have been seen that as so many of them were over there, it's like they'd taken over.
Right.
Because supposedly, in the times we're talking about, there'd be less people there.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But we know history's a lie. But I never knew that all these Germans had migrated there. Did you, Amy, in the 1880s?
Oh, no, I never knew that,
Up to
Karen.
about 1920 they were coming. And all to get away from this bad regime, this German army, or German empire. Incredible. Anyway,
It is incredible,
I
yes.
just left it up for a few people to read if they want to read. Right, let's get down to the... Oh, let's go up a little bit. So people can read it.
Yes.
That's still incredible, isn't it?
It really is.
Because it might have 300,000 going today.
Yes.
And it says, following the outbreak of the 1914 war, anti-German sentiment overrode the acknowledgement of such diversity. So the Germans were then the refugees.
Yeah, yes, they were the refugees.
None of us can be nice, can we? There's always got to be this wrong and right when it's all a lie in the first place. But
I know.
that's the German bit. So they did make an onslaught there. So people would have thought maybe they took over a part of Australia.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm on my way to find a bit more about Germans in Australia. But I just came across this big, it's a science map. And it's amazing, all the gold is on the outside. Some copper in there, but gold, lead, copper, gold, copper, lead, tin, gold, silver, gold, tin, lead, gold. It goes round like that all the way round. That's amazing. I thought Australia was built on coral. How would that work with gold in it?
Right. I don't know.
Anyway, that was just interesting. We just stopped there.
Yeah.
The guy did an article on it, and there is a little bit more information. It says 100 years ago, British scientists travelled to Australia for the annual meeting of the British Association for the Advancement of Science. The event was meant to promote science progress in empire, but was overwhelmed by the announcement of war. Yeah, there you go. There's a bit more information there. Hopefully you can read that. 2011 census counted 108,000 Austrian residents were born in Germany. Wherever that is. But anyway, immigration history. There you go. Quite a lot did go to Australia. People with German ancestry as a percentage of the population in Australia, divided geographically by statistical local area as of the 2011 censuses. So basically, there's a lot more. They're all in, they're in the 3 states on the right hand side. So there's 3 states on the right hand side, they're in there. They're not on the other side, which is kind of like they've taken over that part of Australia. Well, so everybody can see. So nobody here, there are Germans that have moved here, but look where most of them are in here. They're in this one mainly. Amazing that is. Right up to there, look. They're in here, very big, and then there's some in here. So there you go. I suppose you can see why people thought Australia was cut in half. This belonged, and then that belonged. 1825, 1829, 1832. I saw one, we're just waiting to get it. 1936. After this is about the territories. Oh, I suppose this is how they... Colony of New Zealand is split from New South Wales. Van Diemen's Land, do you see that at the bottom? That must have been the Germans, but I can't stop it or do anything, so I'll just let it go round a few more times. With the curving land behind Australia. Oh, of course, Australia's not curving. The Van Diemen's Land. Oh, I've got to wait for it to come round again. But that tells a bit more history if people are interested. Wikipedia. It's coming. we're waiting. God. Or 1906 now. 1911, 1914. I think we'll go through it again now. Must have missed it that time round. The League of Nations, Amy. What the hell's that?
League of Nations.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard of that. Yes.
Oh, it's showing a bit more now. Showing how much they own of Antarctica. 1934. This is 1946 as the United Nations. Oh, it's going up. I was just hoping to see the German one, but we're moving on in years. It's going up. I'll wait till it gets. I'll just play it through, and then I'll hopefully play the beginning bit just again. Wow, so we've only had it since about 1950 something. No, that can't be true. It's telling you the history here. It's not like they've told us. You know, you think always, oh, England's always had Australia. Well, they didn't. It's very interesting. I've never seen anything like this moving around on Wikipedia. It's going to give up to date, but I want to go back to the beginning. Oh, has it gone back to the beginning? Oh, right, we're back at the beginning now. South Colonial. Right. Annexed by. Right, we're back at the beginning. New South Wales. In the middle. Dan Vorman's land. There it is. Split from New South Wales. So that's obviously all German. Maybe that's it. That was when it was in the 1800s.
Yeah.
It's like Germany took over. We'll let it just run through a tiny bit more, but there's a little bit more information. I never knew that, did you? I never knew all that.
No, me neither, Karen.
Might just let that run through to the end because it's still quite fascinating. So it's not English yet. Still Van Diemen's land. There you go. More of it. I don't know that the Germans are there in that part of it at that time. Then still split from New South Wales. South Australia gained from New South Wales. Sounds like an election, doesn't it?
Yes.
1863. It's still not English. Oh, here we go. What's that? Against the wishes of the British government. Maybe it's the late 1800s then. There, it's the late 1800s, I think. But it wasn't originally. Not from, you know, for about 50, 60 years. That's crazy. I know. Oh, anyway. It's like having to relearn the whole of your history. It's good fun, isn't it?
I know.
We're just letting it run through to the end. We're on 1915 now.
Okay.
Oh God, we've got to go through them showing us that they own part of Antarctica. Well, originally there was quite a few states in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but there isn't anymore. There's only 3. There's another state there: Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, and South Australia. But one of those counties is gone, I think. There's only 3 of them now. We're at 1969 now, Amy.
Okay.
71. It's going to stop in a moment. 75. 89. 97. That's it, back to the beginning. So we found out quite a bit today. So we found out that there was quite a lot of Germans in Australia, but not that basically Australia owned it, but owned it in the fact there were so many of them there.
Yes, that's right.
I never knew that. Did you, Amy?
I didn't either, Karen. No.
Okay, 1 second, Amy. And here's just a bit more with, obviously it says German settlements in Australia. There you go. Obviously quite a long time ago, so there you go. So there was quite a lot of them moving over there. So a good section of Australia today is German.
Yes.
Anyway, me and Amy are finished now. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just was trying to look up to do with the empires, because everybody seems to have an empire, but that can't be if the world's being controlled. Oh, I don't know. It's all crazy. All the little empires in there. They've told us how unimportant the kings and the queens are, but they seem to be very important, Amy.
They sure do, Karen.
What I wanted to do was, I just wanted to go and check, because obviously there were supposed to be prisoners going there. So it's got the date there of 1788 to 1868, and it tells you there British transporting convicts overseas to American colonies in the 1800s. Well, the British government began transporting convicts overseas to American colonies in the 1800s. Well, it couldn't have been an American colony because it wasn't really called America then, was it? Anyway, don't understand that, but then none of this ever adds up anyway, does it? 1868, there you go, they stopped coming, but that overlaps with the Germans coming. The Germans were there from 1838 to 1914. Those are the years it says that they were coming over, so that overlaps in to the 1868. So while convicts were still coming over to Australia, the Germans were moving there. There you go, 1838, 1914. That's when they were coming. Anyway, there's a little bit more information there, just passports. To the Commonwealth of Australia. Just little bits of newspaper, whatever, in there. Anyway, thanks for helping me, Amy.
Oh, you're welcome, Karen. Thank you.